Good evening, comrade subscribers. So, we had some blue skies today, so I was able to finish giving the MacTep. Sorry if that's irritating you. The Master a proper clean, so it's all looking quite nice now. Keyboard's looking pretty good. Try powering it on. Unfortunately, it doesn't have with the Spectrums, because it's got the little key press noise. So that sometimes, if you don't have video, you know, if it's working, you should be able to hear a little but this one doesn't have a speaker built in, so we can't do that. But we can try powering it. A little USB. All right, and get a very faint little green LED on. So there's 5 volts getting to there at least. Okay, so I can't tell anything else. I can't really feel anything getting hot or warm. Before I go any further, actually, I don't know if we did actually have a proper look at the board, did we? And so I've got a few like this. For example, the red Moldovan BYTE that I did a whole lot of videos on earlier that I still need to get back to. It's basically the same idea. This ULA from Angstrem is basically a Spectrum on a chip, and there's a very good web page, zxbyte.ru, that has some information about it. And basically, if you've got one of these, well, I've actually got a few spare ones I got out of Ukraine. And all you really need, apart from having a few support chips, is basically the ULA, the CPU, ROM, and here we've got this 8255 peripheral interface, and RAM, and also provide a clock, an oscillator in. But yes, I don't know if we really had a proper close-up look. Let's have a proper. We can. I think the easiest way is maybe hold the camera steady and have a look. So turn the light back on. So yeah, we've got this Z80 clone, very nice ceramic package. So I can't think off the top of my head. So yeah, someone in the comments said East German. So okay, yep, that makes sense. I was trying to figure out where it was from. I do have a few, or maybe from the MME, maybe. I do have a few East German Z80 clones, but they're in plastic dips. So this is quite a nice one. Then we've got the ROM, Angstrem ROM T34, internal name. Know where that's from? Yep. Then we've got the 8255 clone. So in this case, it's KR58. Oh, sorry, 58. Yeah, 0VV55A, made in USSR. So I haven't seen them like that before, so I don't know. Anyway, and what else we got? Oscillator down there, and then yeah, obviously here we've got the ULA, Angstrem ULA, the Spectrum on a chip, KA1515XM1, or is it a KM1? 216. So 216 is the particular design on this ULA, which is the Spectrum. So there are other KA1515XM1s, but the last digits tell you what it was actually, what it's been designed for. And then of course the good old 64 K of RAM, 64 kilobit RAM chips, KR565 RU5s, pretty much standard. And yeah, you can see the difference in the decoupling capacitors. So these are the good ones with the precious metals, and then these are the cheap ones. Yeah, and we've got an array of resistors as well. So we can see we've actually got some Western style resistors in amongst the Soviet resistors. I'm just trying to think, was it the green ones were mil spec and the orange or brown ones were civilian spec or something like that? I can't remember what the difference was. So yeah, there we go. So that's the machine. Pretty simple. which means it's also pretty cheap to build, but the problem is if the ULA is not working, then it's scrap basically, because, you know, unless you can replace the ULA, which I do actually have somewhere, unless there's a particular function of the ULA, like the memory addressing or something like that, that you could perhaps on, you know, one of these little prototyping areas, you could maybe try and reproduce. Anyway, enough of all that. So what I wanted to do is figure out the RGBS and audio. So it's a 7-pin DIN. So I've got one plugged in there ready to go. Now I have checked. So basically pin 2 is usually ground, and in this case it is. Pin 2 is ground, so that's a good starting point. And I'm going to cheat and use the pin out. So this is the T34VG1, which is the kind of internal name for that, and, you know, associated with the T34 ROM there. So this is the pin out, and pin 10, 11, 12 are RGB. We've got Luma Y on pin 18, and we've got sync on pin 43. So the idea is if I can trace from there over to here, then hopefully I should also, I haven't marked on that where the sound is, but that's okay. So what I want to do is, if we turn this around, see already the little reset wire is broken, but that's okay. So have a look. So pin 1 basically is in the middle, and it's got the extra little divot on it. So I don't know if we can see. It looks like it's this one here. It's got that little extra mark on it, and it should be pin 1 to pin 8. So if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then we've got pin 9, and then we've got pin 10. So pin 10 is supposed to be blue. Pin 11 is supposed to be red. And that one's supposed to be, so, I have to double check. 10, 11, 12, yeah. I'll have to double check my pin out because that 10 doesn't look, I need to get my loop anyway. That, that pin 11 doesn't look like it's connected to anything, even though we've got, that via is for pin 12, isn't it? Pin 9, where's that pin 9? What does it come under? Oh, maybe it comes under. Or is that pin 9 there? Pin 9, pin 10, pin 11 is not connected. 8, 9. Anyway, so I'll have a look and let's see if I can figure something out. Okay, so after some tracing, it looks like the RGBS end up down here. So if we check, these aren't actually connected to anything. If you look at the wires on the other side, they go nowhere. But I guess they're there if you want to do something. Anyway, so it's supposed to be pin, what is it? 10, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12. So yeah, so I think 11 has got a via underneath the actual chip. So if we look at, so 10, pin 10, which is supposed to be blue, that has a wire here. Yep, so, okay. So that's the blue signal. We zoom in. So that's blue. That connects to pin 10 of the ULA. Okay, so pin 12 is green. So there's a little wire I can put my thing in there. There, so that one, that's pin 12, which is green. So pin 9, sorry, pin 11, 10, 11. Pin 11's that one. So we've got, and then maybe one of these is sync or luma. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so that's luma. Luma there. And that could be sync up there then. 41, 42, 43. 41, 42, 43. 41, 42, 43. Yeah, okay, so these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 5 wires are basically our RGBS plus luma. So then, yeah, it's just a matter of tracing each one and then hopefully figuring out from there. So from here to there. All right, so let me just make a note of which was which. All right, hopefully that makes sense for those wires there, and then it's just a matter of tracing up there. So I've got red, green, luma, blue, and then sync in that order. Unfortunately, I don't think, apologies for the hand, I don't think it's possible to directly buzz them out like this because I think it goes through some resistance. So I think it'll be a case of trying to figure out. So for example, if we look at, sync might be easy, but we look at, say, red. No idea where red is. I assume maybe there's these transistors. No, I might do one of the other ones first. Green, because I can see green goes up to there. Okay, there's a wire. There's a wire that goes across, okay. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit of work still, but I am getting there. Okay, slowly. Of course, I could probably find this information online, but slowly figuring it out. So I assume these transistors here are related. So assuming they're NPN, there's no marking that I can discern on them at all. Just a red and a green. Anyway, so if we assume that this is the emitter, then put on the emitter there. So we've got pretty much a direct connection there, and direct connection to that pin there. Direct connection to that pin there. So I've got from there to there, so now I just need to get from there to there, which isn't so easy. So I think They're all common, aren't they? Yeah. Need to look at the base. So I don't know. I don't think there is. Yeah, I think there is probably some resistors that it goes through before it gets to the transistor. So, yeah, a little bit of work left to do, but hopefully getting there. So they go up. Yep. This is where schematics make things so much easier. So there's a wire there. So that's connected to the base of that transistor there. And I think I was buzzing this out just before, wasn't I? That's connected to that there, which then goes back through there. So that transistor there, resistor. I thought I had yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think getting there slowly. Yep, getting there. Right, it's getting pretty pretty late, so I might do a quick update before I finish for the night. So I think I'm making progress. So I've actually found a video on YouTube from another fellow who's got one of these working, and actually I think his is an older model, because this port is labeled floppy disk, and apparently this is what this section here was for a floppy disk controller. And he actually has a SECAM output on this side, and he has a 5-pin DIN for the RGBS. He doesn't have a 7-pin DIN. But anyway, so I've been experimenting. So what I've done is I've made up a 7-pin kind of breakout thingamajig here, and I'm just kind of, well, I know ground's pin 2, so I've got pin 2 hooked up, no problems. And so then it's just a matter of figuring out RGB and sync. So I think I've got sync. So when I connect this red wire, which is pin 6, I get some sort of image. Well, the image changes. It kind of, I think it picks up a sync signal. And so now it's just trying to find out what's RGB. So the blue cable, which is pin 1, I was seeing in various colors. No, I'm not. I was getting text output. And it was a bit garbled, but I could actually make out text because I had my arm resting on the keyboard, which, as you will note, also is quite nice and clean now. That's clean. Anyway, so I just about had it working. I think the problem is I've got to hold it down. So I think blue was one of the color channels. I think blue was. Is it plugged in and powered on? It is, isn't it? Let me just solder. Let me solder blue up to blue. Just temporarily, like that. Okay, let me just reset everything. So let's go back down here. Let's turn the machine off. I'm going to change that little LED. Okay. So power on the GBS 8200 again. Of course, I know that. No doubt this is probably documented somewhere, but I've not been able to find it. Hey, oh, we did get something. Takes a little while. Okay. I had my arm lying. What I should do is try and find what the sound channel is. That would be the easiest way, probably. Oh, of course, I can hook it up to the oscilloscope. Man, I just did have something. Ah. These tiny little cables keep breaking. Bugger. I should probably redo them. Where did that one come from now? Ah, that was the one that just broke. Okay, that's why it's not working, because that is this blue one here. I've been fiddling, then I noticed that this wire had come off. So let me just do it up again quickly. I think this is very lightly tacked on. We're going to get something now. Do we have to reset it again? Alright, gonna do something. Come on. I think any of the other cables have come off. It was working, trust me. We need to reset the machine again. Cast power off. Oh. Okay, I'm going to get something. There, see it? There's the K. There's the K cursor. There's the K cursor. Let me hold down enter again. Ah, it's gone. Ah. All right. Come on. Power cycle it. There. Okay. Oh, oh. That was the K. The cursor was there. The keyword cursor was there. All right, but God knows, maybe I've got the sync cable wrong. Yeah, so the machine might be working. It's just I just need to figure out this 7-pin bloody RGBS. Maybe try some other. Very, very dodgy. So it's definitely there. So the sync must be right. So I've got so I actually had more luck when I had my arm lying on the keyboard. You do believe me, don't you? You did see it. You did see it. So there was a cursor there. So it might actually be working. Probably helps. Oh, okay, if I don't have. So, yeah. Oh, that could have been it. I had a little bit of salt. Oh, had a little bit of solder. Or maybe the sync isn't that. Maybe that isn't sync. Maybe that's one of the color channels. Let's reset it again. Come on. Do. Yeah, so still very, very flaky. I might redo those. Yeah, I might redo those cables. Seem to be okay at the moment. So yeah, that's it, I think, for tonight. Slowly getting there. Oh, but of course, if you do know the pin out for the 7-pinned in on the master, then yes, I would love to know it. I'm getting a bit tired of trying to figure these pin outs. And I can see lots of photos and stuff on Russian websites, but no one's bothered just to document it. Well, look, here's a photo of it working. It's like, yeah, but what's the pin out? What's the pin out? But yeah, so it might be there, but obviously I'm not a native Russian speaker, so I don't. Not as easy. All right. I think that's all. I can't get it back. So maybe I've got the wrong cable for sync. Maybe that is one of the color channels. I don't think any of the, of course, you know, if one of these other wires is broken. Nope, not going to do it. Nothing at all this time. Nope. All right, no, I need to have a break. Have a break and try and figure it out more tomorrow. Sorry everyone. Maybe tomorrow. Bye for now.